Yeah, I do nose tape and mouth tape.
Nose and mouth?
Mm-hmm. Nose to
nose to
over.
open, yeah.
It's like, how do you breathe?
I don't.
Through her eyelids.
I don't.
I die every night.
It's it's air fasting. You know?
Oh my God.
An 8-hour air fast.
Do you even air fast? This is Lee Hargraves, certified strength and conditioning specialist, former rocket scientist, and non-water faster.
This is Isis Hargraves, certified OPEX coach, nutrition guru, and I need to go to the hair salon to get this hair did. That's why I'm wearing the hat.
And this is Adonis Wright, CrossFit Level 2 head coach at enduraLAB, and the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl in 2027.
That's right. And you found the enduraLAB podcast, where we dive into the science behind fitness,
the ins and outs of better health,
and lifestyle strategies to help you live your best life.
Well, today's episode is about what real progress looks like. Not overnight change, not shortcuts, but support, structure, and consistency.
Yeah, and it's all about evolving goals, from weight loss to strength, just confidence, and now training for the Cowtown Half.
But before we get to all of that, we're going to introduce our special guest, which is Miss Sara Riley.
Hey guys. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Here for that.
We got some crowd noise.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. It's a good day.
Thanks for being on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, this is first podcast.
Ever.
All right, so awesome. We always like to have the beginners on here. Completely harmless. This is going to be a fun time. All right, so Sara, take us back. What brought you to enduraLAB originally?
Yeah, so a little bit of background on me. I think I have about 10 to 15 years of fitness past CrossFit, Olympic weightlifting, strength and conditioning. And about 2 years ago, I was on a new weight loss journey, trying to figure things out, and was just ready to get back into what I had known before. So I had done some internet sleuthing, looking around in the Fort Worth area, and I ended up at enduraLAB.
That's how a lot of people find us, by the way. A good old Google search.
Yep.
Thank you, Google.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Okay.
No, IG.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so what set us apart on IG? Black and white photos?
At
Yes.
that time.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Drew me in instantly. I think it was that looking at the people in the photos, I could see diversity and see everyday folks enjoying the classes. And I was like, okay, I could see myself fitting in here, and I could see myself being a part of this community.
Yeah. Now, once you actually got into the gym versus looking at everything on Instagram, did that play a part as well, where it's like, hey, these are actually everyday real people that
100%.
okay.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's what set enduraLAB apart from all the other gyms.
Yes, 100%. In my past, I've been very blessed to have 2 other gym communities I've been a part of that were really pivotal for those moments in my life, that I'm still friends with some of those folks. And I was looking for that again. And I knew I just knew instantly that's what this was.
Can you explain going into that? What did fitness feel like for you back then? Like you said, you have communities and you have things that you were looking for specifically. So physically and emotionally, how did that feel for you before and coming into enduraLAB?
Yeah, so before, I felt really fearless. I knew my place in my fitness, especially when I was competing in Olympic weightlifting. But coming back to it, I took nearly 8 years off from doing anything other than cardio at a 24-hour or something like that, which those are great.
We've all been there.
Yeah. I will say I was really afraid to come back. I remember calling my mom before rolling up for my first intro here of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can go through the door. I was very afraid because I knew that I was in a different place, but sometimes you still envision yourself as the athlete that you were. And so reconciling those juxtapositions of who I was then to who I was before and starting a new chapter. But as soon as I came in, I'd actually taken a week off work. And so I had my intros like kind of back to back to back, but it was great. I hooked.
That's
instantly.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
And the community aspect, I think too, like you said, you had good relationship with your former coaches and you had that gym community. So I think that plays an important role. I'm glad you felt that way instantly at
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I remember really early on, I hit a weight loss milestone, I think probably like 2 months being here. I'm a 5 a.m.er. And so I told
to the 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Yeah, we're a breed of our own. But I told the coach at the time, I was just so excited to share it. And they asked me, is it okay if I share this with the whole class? I was like, yes, because it just felt weird for me to announce it to all these people. But I won't ever forget Kathy and Joe, like hardly knowing them, coming up to me saying, that's so amazing. Congratulations. 2 months into being here. It was really, really awesome.
Community is often overplayed. Every gym says it. We've got community, but it is really special inside of enduraLAB. And it's just fun and competitive when it needs to be,
Sure.
but it's really not day to day. It's a very supportive community, and it is hard to find that
Yes.
inside of a gym, even because there's like a lot of cliques and stuff. And we've really tried to tell all of our coaches and front desk and operations guys, like, hey, listen, if we see it, let's break it up. Like, we want this community feel, and it's slower growing that way, but it really has paid off.
And it's interesting that you say that, because there's definitely like a 5 a.m. group, but those 5 a.m. groups would support a 4:30, and anyone else and their goals, they are those kind of people. And that, I would say, our whole gym has those, it's just a certain time period in which you go. And when you wake up at 4:30 to come out of 5, you're a different breed.
Basically what you're saying is everybody at the gym is the same. We have the same people. It's just the time frame of which they decide to work out. But the 5 a.m.ers are the same type of people that you're going to find at the gym at 5:30 in the evening.
And
right?
supporting your goals.
And supporting the goals. Those are the same type of people.
Lifting each other up and giving fist bumps, like on the app that we have. Everyone's given, or is it fire emojis now? There's like
fire
yeah.
emojis.
Fire
I love
emojis.
it. I love
I
it.
love a
Switch it
fire
up.
emoji. So also going back, I think it's important that a lot of people are hesitant to start at enduraLAB, and it's really scary. No matter if you've even had a fitness background, I don't even know if it's scarier coming back knowing what you did. I'm not sure.
I don't want to say scarier.
It can be humbling. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
For some people, it might be humbling. For some people, it might be scary. But I think there is that hesitation, I guess, across all boards for people that were super competitive in something completely different.
Yeah, I think it's the fear, at least for me and my experience, is the fear of being judged, of showing up with however you are, no matter your fitness level, but showing up and being worried that other people are looking at you or questioning how you're moving. Like, I couldn't do a burpee. Could I 10 years ago? For sure. So reconciling that and coming in and not feeling a lick of judgment, just open arms acceptance, really helps you get over that. But getting in the door is hard.
And I think to that point too, our coaches do a really good job, to let people know there are other options that are just as good as that burpee. Like, there is no judgment, because that's just one movement out of 30 that we could be doing, and I think people get really comfortable when they realize that that's their options. But you don't know that if you're not in the gym.
Right.
Maybe I should market that more.
I think it's just too assessing athletes where they are.
Yeah. Meeting them where they're at.
That's a
Yes.
big difference. Like, we don't care if you can do a burpee. We don't care what you look like. All that we care about is that you come into the door and put forth effort.
Effort is the key to everything.
Yeah, consistency and effort,
Yeah.
goals achieved. And we'll talk more about that. Let's go into number one. I mean, we got to talk weight loss journey, chapter. Like, it's so inspiring. That was one of the first things I think we even had a conversation on, is like how far you've come, how far you've come since then. So let's go into that, like from the start of it, and kind of go through it.
Sure. So taking it back a little bit, this weight loss chapter started in COVID. COVID was really hard for me. I was very stagnant. I wasn't moving. It was a very, very hard time. I put on a lot of weight. I think the highest weight that I recorded was north of 370 pounds. And I didn't realize it, that I had put on that much weight. You get into your bubble and are doing your day-to-day things, not realizing that, hey, I'm struggling to walk across the room, or until you have a moment that you realize that you are really inhibited on what you can do just in day-to-day life. I travel a lot, for those that don't know, but I took a trip out to California to see a friend of mine when things started opening up. And that's when I realized that, oh, I'm not the same person that I was, or that I'm still envisioning myself to be. I struggled walking through the airport, struggled keeping up with my friend. And it was just like that trip. Like, I still look back at the photos of like, oh man, I cannot believe that I got so lost in that sauce and I just got so lost in it.
That's a Gucci Man reference if y'all don't know that.
But yeah, so that's what kicked everything off for me. I started just being mindful in what I was eating. I didn't do anything crazy like go run a marathon, but I just started walking more, doing intentional things of parking further in a parking lot and walking further in, or going to the opposite bathroom in my office, stuff like that, and slowly started to lose a little bit of weight.
That is neat, right? What does it stand for again?
Non-exercise
something or another.
Thermogenesis.
Yeah.
Oh, not like neat.
No, not like that's
an acronym.
That's
The
cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was neat.
Non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like great because a lot of people don't understand that it's those small things that
Taking the
really
stairs
make a
instead of the
difference.
elevator.
Yes.
That's your biggest calorie burn, by the way, is NEAT.
Yep.
So you guys look that up. NEAT.
Because you're
something
doing
new.
NEAT like 12 hours a day,
No, you're doing NEAT 24 hours a day.
even when you're sleeping.
Yes.
Really?
And that's why we want muscle mass, because the more muscle mass, that's your engine. Okay, so even when you're sleeping, you're burning more calories.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
That's why-
NEAT. So that's why when people are like, man, I got a killer workout, I got 600 calories. I'm like, that's cool.
Just Googled,
what's your NEAT score?
during sleep? They're like, do you beat during sleep? What does your body
Hold on, I was gonna say your search
Yeah.
engine's about to get real.
Yeah, I hope
crazy.
you're on.
Do you beat?
I hope you're on
sleep?
incognito.
Yeah. I don't know what you're doing right now.
Oh man.
Something too that comes into this whole time frame too is you have a very demanding corporate job.
Yes.
And I would say, just from knowing you at the beginning, especially when you came into the gym, the time demand. Always there, a lot of overtime work. So that really takes a toll on the body because you're eating junk. I've been there. That was the heaviest I ever got, was when I started at the same company as you did. And then I did do something stupid like bet my friends I couldn't run a marathon. And I did. And by the end of it, I was smaller than this one
He
over
was
here.
so lean. I was like,
And she was like, please
do something.
put on something.
Yeah.
Eat,
I didn't
eat a chicken
like
wing.
that look. I didn't like it.
You didn't like Lean Lee?
No, I like, some
Look,
curves.
like, oh, my man got curves.
Right back at you.
My man got curves. My boy got thick in the hips.
Anyway, sorry, Sarah.
But
Back
no,
to
that's,
you.
that's a very hard
This
thing
is
to
my
do.
work. This is my work life.
It is. We do apologize, or I at least apologize.
ISIS does it.
Our kids are the same way. Like anytime in
Like,
the house,
oh
I'm
my
like, oh.
gosh. Like, I'm sorry, I love your father. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
But it is so cool that you did little things, and that's what we try to do. Little habits that you can do in the middle of a very busy work schedule that actually start adding up.
Yeah. And if I look back, being over 370 pounds, that's massive. When you think of it in the large spectrum of things, you can't tackle it all at once. And so making the small changes, the small habits that you're stacking on top of each other, to me, is what makes someone successful, or at least it's what makes me successful, is the small steps.
James Clear does a really good job of that. I don't know if you've ever read any of it. Oh, we like
Atomic
the small habits, Atomic
Oh,
Habits.
I
and you
have
stack
read.
it.
I have read that book.
Yeah,
Atomic Habits.
so
it's like
good.
yellow and
Yeah.
red.
It's like
on the
do
front
something
cover.
so simple that it's hard not to do.
Yeah.
And then once you do it, just stack on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Add something else. So
It's
that's
like
cool.
brushing your teeth every day. Well, then I'm going to wash my face.
There's another book
It's
called
like
The
stuff like that.
Compound Effect, which is like it basically does the same thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like every small
oh, yeah,
little
that's
habit.
the yellow and black one.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, you started this journey on your own just by doing little habits.
Yes.
Eventually, though, you used the assistance of a GLP-1.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us your experience with the GLP-1 and what went into making that decision?
Sure. I want to make sure that I articulate it well, that it's a piece of the journey. There's a lot of rhetoric online or in conversations about GLP-1s. So I don't want it to diminish the progress. And I wouldn't want that for anybody else that's taking one. I'm still on one today.
So which one are you on now?
I just moved to Zepbound. I just changed because of some insurance coverage. But yeah, in 2023, I was doing a TDY for work, which is a temporary duty assignment. They like place you somewhere for like 6 months. So I was out in California and the scale wasn't moving. I was doing the habits, I was doing the workouts, watching what I was eating. And I had a conversation with my doctor about it. She made the recommendation of, hey, why don't you think about maybe taking a GLP-1 and just see if that helps with your inflammation and what's going on in your body. My insurance covered it. And so that was that. I didn't really think much of it, but I would say that it's been a helpful tool. It's not the only tool in my toolbox. It's not the only thing I'm using to help with my fitness, but it definitely helps with the relationship with food. Like, you don't get to over 300 pounds at my height without having a poor relationship or a poor emotional relationship with food. And so it's been very key for me in helping tackle that and rewire those habits and rewire those emotional responses to things going on in my environment, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
I that there's this like discouragement that you said, and there's this negativity. And I'm going to be honest, like I used to kind of one of those people when I was extremely uneducated. What are you here as someone who is using it as a tool and worried about that?
I think I just don't want my journey to be judged. At the end of the day, I don't really care if people have an opinion about what I'm doing from a fitness perspective, but I just don't want to say, hey, I've lost 125 pounds. And then that to be diminished because I'm also on a GLP-1.
Like think that that's the easy button.
Yes.
Right. And it's absolutely not. There's a whole picture of what you're doing every day with that tool.
100%.
I think what's interesting when people start talking about a GLP-1 and they go into the negativity of it, it's a peptide. Mm-hmm. How many people are on a peptide?
A lot more than you think.
A lot of people's on a peptide.
I mean, I'm putting
Especially
peptides on my
lately.
face every day in my face cream.
Yep.
So it's natural, it's boosting, but the biggest thing that you did and the difference between what I would say when people judge a GLP-1 as an easy button, you actually started your habits beforehand.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's the big difference. The issue that I have with the GLP-1 is the application of it. Mm-hmm. Is the doctor writing scripts to people they don't really even know. But I have that with any medication.
Sure.
I have that with,
there's
an antibiotic. Don't give my kid an antibiotic if he doesn't need one. I don't want to have to deal with the repercussions of it on the other end of there goes their gut biome and I've got to rebuild. But GLP-1, if it's blanketed, no good. The other thing is they don't know everything about your journey, but your strength has gone up, right? So one of the biggest faults that we would have in a GLP-1 is no resistance training. Right? So then there is a huge muscle loss, and then there is actually the recomp is worse. You lose muscle faster than fat. So as people are losing weight, their body fat is actually rising, which is crazy. So there's a lot of things that go in there. You're already eating better. So these practices go in. So I really want people to understand that a GLP-1 can be poorly applied or it can be used as a correct tool.
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard enough to actually gain muscle, like on your own without anything else.
It's hard to do it on a GLP-1.
So then you put in the GLP-1 where you're not hungry and you're having to force yourself basically to eat the macros that you need, and this because of your background. It's funny, it's like it's the RX plus version really in a workout. Like you're working hard, and I think that you're right though, people don't see that. They won't until they experience it. And I think with its popularity right now, I think more and more people are experiencing, athletes are now coming out that they use it and this is how and all that. I think that's kind of helping the narrative.
Serena Williams is on it.
And I think the other important part too is that there are several different doses of GLP-1s for those that aren't familiar, and so you move up in dosage. I stayed on the minimum dosage for probably 4 to 5 months. My doctor was very intentional about having 3-month check-ins where I was coming into the office, or because I was in California, I was doing video check-ins, asking me about my diet, those habits, like what was I doing at the gym. And so I was very lucky that, yes, I have that background. And so I have a good understanding of how I should be counting my macros and different things like that. But I really appreciate my doctor's approach.
Yeah, it sounds like you're.
Yes, she's amazing. I love her. And she really took it slow. I think I stayed on the next high doses for a year after that. So we just really let it be something that was assisting my body and the inflammation and things that were happening on the inside while I was working on all of my other tools and nutrition and fitness on the outside.
What do you think would have happened if you were taking the medication, but you didn't have any coaching, you weren't training on your own? What do you think would have happened to that way?
I think it goes back to what Lee was saying, that like your body composition changing, not having the right strength training, you lose muscle very quickly. Like I've had a weight loss journey before a long, long time ago where I lost a significant amount of weight very, very quickly because I was doing crazy sprint intervals. I just was doing it in a way that was very unhealthy and unsustainable. And I gained that weight back, right? I didn't have the right foundations in place to manage that. And so I just think I would have been long-term unsuccessful in what I was really trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And I think you've done a great job of steady. I think that's a real key here, that a lot of people, they want that real quick change. You probably had some quick losses even in this journey.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have that stair step and maybe you get a little bit of an increase. Like everybody thinks that a weight loss journey is linear.
Oh man.
But it is one bumpy up and down, and you just try to stay as consistent as possible, and eventually it all
especially
works
being
out.
a female, like you're different weights like every week of the
Yeah,
month.
hormone fluctuation.
Yeah, depending on where you are in your cycle.
We
100%.
don't have
Yeah.
to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
We're the same every day we walk in.
Yeah, I think about vegetables and I lose a pound. You know, I have to.
Yeah, shut up.
So lucky. So lucky.
I think it's interesting, the idea of clarity mentally
Oh,
and the relationship with food.
beyond.
We were joking around about fasting earlier. The people who I've fasted and I have trained and they have fasted a lot, we all talk about how easier our day is when we don't have to think about food. And so I can't imagine being on the side of a real unhealthy relationship with food and then trying to navigate that without a tool or an aid. So that is interesting to have that kind of mental clarity of a GLP-1 on that.
Yeah, but it's still not the fix though. Like it's important that folks know that yes, it helps, and is my food noise is what they call it, significantly reduced. Yes, but I do have a very stressful job and that influences that. And so I have to put habits in place that remind myself that, hey, this is your goal and this is what you're intending to do. But I think the other piece of it too is having kindness with yourself and grace with yourself. Like, I'm not perfect. I don't always hit my macros. I'm not always eating the cleanest. And I think that's okay. I'm living life and I'm enjoying it, and finding the balance between tracking to your goals and staying focused, but also enjoying life and enjoying where you're at. And that when you have these bumps, giving yourself grace and forgiveness, that's all a part of the journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I've heard too that it can't be a crutch, because you can also fall into relying too much on that. And then it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to take this and then it will make me stop eating for however many days or whatever. You know, you start getting used to it, kind of like any other drug. So sometimes, you know, changing it up, different peptide can be helpful. But if you are relying solely on just that, like you said, you're going to bounce back 100%. After you stop taking it. And so it's so important. Like at the beginning of the whole GLP movement, I was like, as I coach nutrition, I was like, oh man, this is going to take away my job. Like nobody's going to want to learn about or have me coach them through if they have this thing that's just like turning it off, which is not the truth, right? Everybody's different. Everybody's different. There's dosages, like you said. But then when I realized most of the people taking GLP then go into fitness and to nutrition, really learning so that they can be successful. Nobody really wants to be on something forever, usually. And so I just had a whole different kind of outlook. The more I learned, you know, made myself educated.
Yeah.
I was just going to say I think that's where it gets the bad rap, is where people think that it is just that crutch where I'm just going to take this and I don't have to work out. I don't have to eat right. I don't have to do anything. And then that's when they get off of it, and then they have that spike, and then they get back on.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like the easy button thing too. That diminishes your progress. It's like, no, that's not the healthy way to do it. That's not the preferred way. And that's definitely not what you're doing.
No,
not at
no.
all. Yeah. So let's talk strength. Yes. You just, here we go, the fun stuff. Obviously, we've already talked about that. You just didn't use the GLP-1. You've been strength training. You come from an athletic background. When you started weightlifting again, how did that feel being on the GLP-1 and lifting weights at the same time?
It's been interesting. I do want to say, though, I really can thank Lee and Isis for the fact that I even went back to the platform. I don't know if you guys know this, but last year we had like a goal setting where we sat down as a gym and like did this little Saturday. I was like, I want my check-in because I'm going to get my sticker this month. And so I came, no lie, I came to the goal setting and I was just like, okay, yeah, I want to reach my goal weight, I guess. And you guys were pushing me of like, well, what else do you want to do? Like other than just showing up to the gym. And I was like, well, maybe I can do a weightlifting meet again. I don't know. I just kind of tossed it out there, but the idea stuck. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to the platform. I'm going to compete again. So thank you guys for that. Y'all really encouraged me to get back out there and try that again. I don't think I would have otherwise.
I think when I first started working at enduraLAB, I think the week or two after that was your first, or I guess that meet that you had.
Yeah, that was the meet.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Blue Wave?
Yeah, it was at Blue Wave. But being on a GLP-1 while training, I put on, I think, in my weightlifting cycle, like I went back to try to look my numbers. I put on like 6 pounds of muscle or something like that. But you have to eat intentionally, right? Get your protein in, have your fiber, all of those good things.
I mean, like you literally had like a protein shake. You're just like,
yes,
I'm getting my whatever, because it's hard, y'all. Gaining muscle is not easy. Like the people who think they're just going to come in a gym and get muscular right away.
I
like
bulk up fast. You have to be careful with my programming. I bulk up fast.
Lucky.
Depends on genetics. Like some people can, some people can't.
Yeah.
But I will say though that I do think that is part of my genetics, like my background. Like I do tend to excel in the strength area. It's what I'm more so good at than endurance type sports. But yeah, you just have to be intentional with what you're eating. And I don't focus too much on when, just making sure I'm getting good carbs that can digest as I'm training. But yeah.
When you started back into, okay, I'm going to do this meet, what surprised you most when you started lifting again? Did it just come back? Was it more difficult than you remember? I know we were battling knee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I had a knee injury before I came. I went ziplining in South Africa. Would highly recommend, but would not recommend catching your leg on the side of a mountain because it tends to tear your meniscus.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean,
cool story.
Yeah.
it is really cool. Yeah. When I met with my orthopedic, I was like, so I was in South Africa, but yeah, I was a little bit afraid because I'm older. I'm in my 30s. I'm not the same athlete when I was competing before.
We're not old.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
not
They're-
old.
I didn't
they're
say
I'm
I
in my
was
30s.
You guys are super
I didn't
young.
say I
30s,
was
that's-
old. I just said I'm older.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Don't disrespect me.
Yeah, no, but I'm older than I was. And so I was nervous about that, nervous about squatting, nervous about the weight putting on my knees. I will also say what's interesting is that I actually didn't really enjoy the cycle, which sounds negative to say out loud, but I felt old eating habits creeping back in from when I was a weightlifter before. I was always in the heavyweight class in weightlifting. Like I was never cutting for meets or anything like that. That wasn't my experience. And so I didn't necessarily have a lot of care about my diet and what I was eating because whatever, I was strong and I could lift the weights that I wanted to lift. And so I felt some of that creeping back in, which is why I signed up for the High Rocks. Because I thought, okay, if I have something else immediately after this meet, I have something else to focus on to get back to the healthier habits that I want to be exercising every day.
Yeah, Sarah very rarely has a goal that doesn't have a goal that's coming.
I was
right
going to say,
after.
if there's one thing about Sarah,
double
is that
goal.
she has goals and she's
Yeah.
marching towards them.
Like
During
5
the
years
deload
out?
or taper, she's looking at what's next.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm
Which would
already
be
looking at
the-
what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
the
just talking
enduraLAB
about
open-
that.
enduraLAB open
2027.
plug right there. All right, just bouncing off of that, we try to construct the programming here at enduraLAB that's going to be able to meet athletes where they are, whether that be 3-4 goals in a row, or just coming into the gym when they are trying to change something in their lives, habits, trying to get into their fitness journey, whatever it may be. We just want to be able to meet those athletes where they are. And I'm glad that we've been able to do that for you.
And I think just to foot stomp that, I took the 5 a.m. class today. I've been doing my own running training and I'm doing another weightlifting meet, but I was like, oh, I just really want to take a class. Like I miss kind of hanging with the 5 a.m. crew. And the workout we had today was a couple AMRAPs stacked with single unders for me on the scaled side with a bike and power cleans. And so I plussed up the power cleans. I did the men's weight versus the women's weight. And I had that conversation with Jared of like, hey, I think this makes sense based on where I'm at in my weightlifting program. So I kind of did a scaled plus where I did like that's what I called it in the app, where I'm doing the men's weight, but I'm scaling back on the cardio, which is fitting where I'm at in my cardio journey. And so I can't say that enough, that the way the programming is structured is that you can have any goal that you want to have and you can tweak and adjust and have those conversations with the coaches to make sure you're doing the right things that are aligning with whatever your goals may be.
And I love that you felt you had the autonomy to do that. And we hope all of our athletes do, because it's not about doing necessarily what's prescribed. Like what's prescribed is like a goal and outline general population program, you know, and when you know yourself and we know you too, like it's really cool to see people make that workout their own and really do what is best for their body, whether that's a scaled plus or an RX plus or a scaled or body weight, because you're coming back from slamming into a mountain in South Africa. And we just want, Lee said earlier, to just show up, because that's really the most important part. And
the structure and the group programming allows that.
Yes.
I always talk about to people that structure gives freedom. You might feel that in the workforce. But if we didn't have a progressive structure, if we program randomly, way harder to do that.
Absolutely.
But now, let's say someone's on a journey and the cycle just doesn't really sync up to what they're doing. We can show a modification on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Thursday workout. And you can work that progression throughout. We can show you how to shift the progression so the progression actually fits for you. So having that kind of systematic approach to programming that Adonis has right now is really key to being able to modify for different athletes with different goals and being able to scale it throughout the cycle. So
yes,
absolutely.
And it definitely helps when athletes remember and record their numbers so we can
shout out to the app.
Shout out to the app. And that will definitely help us and you be able to scale and modify based upon your needs within the realm of what we're trying to do for the general population.
100%.
Now, while you didn't decide to run a marathon originally for your big, crazy weight loss goal, you have decided to run the Cowtown Half Marathon.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. Who convinced
you?
Let's
take
built
it
on
back.
Endurance, but yes.
Roll it back.
Let's roll it back. Last year, I'm in Portugal. Oddly enough, you guys were in Portugal at the same time. It's very bizarre. And it came up, Instagram gets me every time. There was an ad for it. And I was like, you know what? I ran the Cowtown Half in 2013 because at that time I was like heavy into CrossFit. I wasn't much of a runner. And I was like, I want to do something that I feel afraid of. And so that's why I signed up. And I got the ad and I was like, you know what? Those medals look really cool.
They do look really cool this year.
Honestly,
I was
they
almost
do.
tempted.
They're doing a good job.
They are. They suckered me in. And I was like, it's April. Like I've got like a whole year. And I signed up immediately and then tried to convince all my friends to sign up. And so now some of my friends are coming out to run the race. Yeah. Sorry to all my friends that I slightly badger into doing these things with me.
Those are the best friends.
Those are the best friends.
Yeah, you're lifting and run, which weightlifters don't normally do.
No.
So tell us about that. How is it balancing the two?
I will be honest, it's been hard. It's the first time I'm navigating this, but I made it very clear from a programming perspective that the half was a priority. So I'm setting my expectations realistically. Like I'm not expecting to get on the platform at the end of March to PR. That's not the expectation. Weightlifting platform. If I do, great. But if I don't, it's just to go and compete and have fun, because right now my focus is running and it's the half at the 1st of March. But yeah, so this is new, doing endurance event at the top of the month, and then at the end of the month, like a big weightlifting event.
And also, if you know anything about Sarah, she's about data and
Yeah.
goals. So you even got a VO2 test so you could see where you were there in front of all of this training, and also the 29:029 event that you also signed
my
up
later
for.
goal.
And then what else did you do? That was
I
your
did my
baseline?
rest day,
Your RMR.
Yeah, my RMR.
And then
so
you bought a Garmin.
I did buy a Garmin. I'm a Garmin girly.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the club.
Although I just switched to Whoop, so we're trading spaces.
Yeah.
But
We kicked her out.
But
She
the
was no
Garmin,
longer-
we told her that
Bless.
it was important because Garmin really does have it nailed, like pacing and GPS and
Yes.
all of that.
Yeah.
So we told her that the most important thing she needed for this race.
Yeah.
And shoes. I think Elizabeth coached you on some
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will be honest.
Foot, but they can take a picture of your foot and your running gait, and they can find shoes
really?
for you. I think.
We actually
I
don't
like my
like
shoes.
that.
I think Luke's Locker does
I think-
something like that.
I can't remember. They have a pressure plate now.
Yeah.
So
that's
much
nice.
cheating. Like I just
Yeah, Lee's
I
not
mean-
a
Carbon. Watch out for the carbon fiber plate shoes. It seems like a
Yeah.
lot of people don't like those.
No, I have a pair. I like shoes, but I also like my
Yes,
shoes
you
to
do.
look a certain way. So
But
I struggle with
Over
getting sized for like
Fashion
certain.
over functionality.
She's a gear.
Yes.
She's
Nice.
a gear girl.
Yes.
Okay.
But I do want to pull on a thread that you said about the VO2 and resting metabolic rate. I feel like a lot of folks that I talk to, that they're afraid to know the numbers. They're afraid to do their fit scan every quarter. And I understand the fear behind that and empathize with that. I have similar fears. But last year, one of my goals was to continue on my weight loss journey and make a significant push more towards my goal weight. I didn't meet that goal. Actually, over the span of 25, I only lost about 10 pounds while putting on several pounds of muscle, right? There was a lot of other things I did, but I took a VO2 max test last year and I took one at the start of this year and my VO2 went up 5 points.
Yeah.
My resting metabolic rate went up like 100 or 150 calories. My fitness age has gone down by 5 years. And so while I didn't meet my scale goal, having all of those other metric points are so important because I was really wrapped around the fact that the scale wasn't moving and gosh, I'm doing all these things. I'm eating all of the right foods. Like I'm doing my best and I'm working out. But when I look at all these other metrics, it is showing that I'm improving. My fitness is getting better. It's just slowly moving forward.
It's all that under the hood stuff that a lot of people don't do. I mean, we do have a very privileged healthcare opportunity. You know, the fact that we have access and can afford these tests, blood work, VO2,
Very fair.
all of that. But it is so important that even if you don't do those things, knowing that those things are chemically changing, things are physically changing. And then also mentally, like the other day I met you or you were in the gym and you were like, I actually enjoy coming in and doing these treadmill workouts, which I tell you what, not even like runners love being on the treadmill. So that's another level.
Love it.
So tell us a little bit how you changed mentally.
Oh, it's huge. So we had a little outing this weekend. A couple of the enduraLAB folks were out and I was telling one of the other, it was all the 5 a.m.ers, one of the other 5 a.m.ers that, you know, like a year ago when a workout would come up and it would have a 200 meter run, 400 meter run, I would just be like, oh, I'm going to bike. There's no way I'm going to run it. And now I'm like doing 2 miles casually. Now, granted, like my pace is,
Nope.
I mean,
Don't
I'm running,
discount
like-
it.
matter.
Discount.
yeah, but
Doesn't
it's
matter.
not like I'm in the Olympics, but I'm enjoying that. I'm not afraid to go run. And when I see a run in the workout, even if it's colder, I'm like, yeah, let's go run.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's
That's such a
exciting to
win.
feel that shift of I can do these things. I'm not afraid to do them. I know my body is capable. Yeah, it's huge.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. I wasn't always a lover of running either.
Oh yeah, it took her a long time.
Yeah. And like I said, I still don't love to just be on a treadmill. I call it the dreadmill.
Oh,
I
I
haven't
love it
ran
so
in a while. I
much.
need to get back to running. It's been a while.
Do you want to
since I've
know
run.
Ice's first?
No,
run?
we've already talked about it on the box. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we talked about it? On the
We have
podcast?
talked about
I don't know about it.
Yes, the
Really?
Jingle Bell Run.
The Jingle Bell
Oh,
run.
you thought it was?
No.
She
Wait,
threw a
the
fit
downtown.
at the end of it.
No, I don't know.
I like
anything.
sat on the curb. Everybody
No,
is
I
like
don't know
jingling
See,
past
I-
me in their spirit.
I don't
And I
think
was
it-
like,
I don't think a lot of people
who
know.
the does this? Like literally. And Lee's like, there's children around, Isis. And I'm like, this
I'm
is
like,
horrible. Like
Jingling by with
It was
Like
spirit.
running with all my buddies.
it was actually a mile
and she
in.
sits on
It
the
was about a
curb
mile
and
in.
pouts.
Ooh, that's a
And he stayed with me. Like
Aw,
She
hated
had
it.
just watched me run
Aw.
Chicago Marathon, and she's like, that was so inspiring.
I think it was
want to do
before.
that.
Was it before?
No, it was after.
Exactly.
Chicago was in October. We did the Jingle Bell Run. The running journey
So
was
y'all
long.
did the run. Y'all were mid race,
Like
and you just
a
said,
mile in, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
In fact, it was so bad. I was like, you know
yeah, I don't
what?
know if I would have stayed.
Cycle, right?
Yeah,
You would have known better.
I would have loved you afterwards. I would have been like, hey, like I gotta run this race.
I gotta go get
Our
my
running-
medal.
You're a great man.
Our running separated at that point. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's best if you do this on your own for a little bit.
And so
then
I
it
did. I
came
ran
back.
in like a 24-hour fitness, like you said, like
On a treadmill.
On a
Yeah.
treadmill.
Yeah.
That's different. It's completely
And
different.
then one day she came and she's like, I just ran 6 miles on a treadmill. I'm like, okay, I think you're ready.
Yeah.
That equates to 15 outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I came around slowly but surely, and now I do love, like you said, I'm like casually run, 2 miles, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that would have never been me, So there is a
Same.
switch, and it's really fun once you like discover
is.
that about yourself.
The one last thing I'll say on that whole thing is I love how you talked about your focus shifted, because I think a lot of people need to understand that there should be a primary focus. It's just like having 52 goals. If you have 52 goals, you don't have any. We have to narrow it down, and you understanding that, hey, I do want to put everything into this race, so I know that my strength might suffer a little. I'm going to try as hard as I can, because truthfully, when you're doing endurance, unless you just haven't worked out, you're trying to just keep it. So whenever I go into a big endurance event, all I'm doing is I'm starting my 100 push-ups. I'm doing as much upper body as I can, because I know that's where I lose it. So instantly, as I start going into this running, I'm just trying to prevent the loss of muscle mass. So I think people need to understand that, but knowing that you have this great foundation, and then you can shift to different areas. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, if someone is listening and wondering, why enduraLAB, what would you tell them now that you've been with us for
Year and a half.
Okay.
I know it feels like ages. Just been here like a whole decade.
COVID?
You just
COVID
come here. You
takes
come
away
here every
all
single day.
time
That's
lessons.
why.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I've been here a long time. Okay, so I would say 2 things. One is the community, which we've talked about. I cannot foot stomp it, shout it enough that to me, the core of what I'm doing, I don't want to just go places just to go and sweat a lot and then go home. I want to go and have my cup filled when I'm having a really crappy day at work and it's really stressful, and be able to come here and laugh and kiki with people and have a good time while we're all like collectively suffering with whatever workout it is. There's something to be said about that sort of environment that it is just so amazing. And the community here, no matter the class, what day you're coming in, it to me is the core of what keeps me here. The second thing I would say is thoughtfulness, which I think could be unpacked in a couple different ways. First, with the programming, there's thoughtfulness in the cycles that we have, the approach in what we're doing, and there's thoughtfulness from the coaches on how the classes are structured, how we are warming up together, doing the workout together, cooling down together, encouraging recovery and reboot, and making sure that while we are working out really hard, that we're taking care of ourselves and making sure that our body is fully ready for that next workout, or if you want to go run a marathon, whatever it may be.
What do you think is either the biggest, the most important, or the most meaningful thing about our community that you've taken away from enduraLAB? The biggest important thing for you?
I think for me, enduraLAB has imprinted on my life in such a way. I'm not trying to get woo-woo, but
I'm like, you're
It's
going to
okay.
make me cry.
But it's just
if you start
like-
tearing up a toe, we can edit it out.
No, I'm a crier. I'll cry in public, just not at work.
I'll look at you.
But like enduraLAB is really imprinted on this period in my life in such a way that no matter where my life takes me, this point in time is defined by the community here at enduraLAB. And you can't fake things like that. You know, you can't fake those friendships. You can't fake those connections. And I know that if, my job, like I'm not trying to relocate, but if I got relocated tomorrow, I would be devastated too. I'm not trying to, advertise that like that I want that. But if that happened, I know I will always have a home here, and I will always have a home with the people here, not just the gym. It's the people too.
I
That's
think
good.
that hit the nail on the head right there.
Yep. you'll always have a
Oh,
home.
you will. You'll always be Jim Bam.
I think that it was so funny. We were just talking about this the other day because Hotel California came in and we had
Oh, yeah.
Friday. Yeah, Friday.
You can check out, but you can
never leave. We've had a lot of returning athletes that I've trained years ago that are coming back in and just talking about how they've missed the community and they thought they could do it on their own, or they moved and now they're back in town and the first thing they wanted to do was get back to the gym. And so we were just kind of laughing about this is always, you're going to always be part of enduraLAB no matter what. So, I mean, boom, just nailed it.
Yeah.
Hotel enduraLAB.
But what is the reference? We don't understand.
Yeah.
You can check out, but you can never leave.
leave.
Yeah.
So it's like you can.
Is that a song?
Yes, it's a song.
Hotel California by the Eagles. Remember, we were talking with Blake.
Okay, is that a lyric?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't know what the lyric means.
So it's
I know
just-
the song.
It's just saying
Hotel
like
California.
you can leave, but you're never really gone.
Da-da-da, Hotel California. That's
I'm
a
pretty-
song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living it up. Oh, no, that's a different one.
Yeah, that's a different
Living
song.
it up. That's
Well,
the.
I don't
that's
know
Fiji.
what.
Living it up.
I don't know what you were about to sing, but I don't know what that was. I think the song might have a different specific meaning, but the general.
That's more what I was asking.
yeah.
Oh, you wanna know
about
what
like
their
the,
song
yeah.
is.
Oh, there's.
Yeah.
It's about
I understand like
it's
what the
about
words
drugs and
mean,
I
but
think it's about the time of like greed and.
It depicts a luxurious, alluring place that becomes an inescapable trap, symbolizing
Yeah.
the high life in Los Angeles and
Yes.
the inability
Okay.
to escape from fame's
like wanting
dark
to be famous
side.
and
Well, yeah. So that's what I was thinking, like drugs and fame and greed, as you said.
Okay.
and-
I don't
yeah.
know if that makes enduraLAB seem good because we already get called a cult. This is like
Nah.
you can never leave.
It's a generalized.
because you don't want to.
statement.
Because
It's
you
just
never
funny.
want to.
It's just funny. Yeah.
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 Once
Don't
you've
read
been
that.
to
Don't read
enduraLAB.
too much into it. I
Yeah,
see.
you're trying to get. Just enjoy the like. Hey, it was fun. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, haha, I love that
Living it up.
song.
That's not even the
I don't
same
even
song.
know what song
Living
that
it up.
That's like
Living it up.
the Bee Gees. Is it the Bee Gees?
That's the Justin
Or-
Timberlake and Jimmy
oh,
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living
Okay.
it up.
I thought you were gonna say "Living in La Vida Loca" or whatever.
because I'm Hispanic. What?
Yes, exactly. That is
we're
exactly
all over the
what I
music
was trying to get
genres.
at.
Living it up in the Hotel California. Yeah, that's right. It's-
Yeah.
Right.
About right.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, it is. We're living it up in the Hotel California.
That's the real
okay.
lyrics.
See, told
Oh,
ya.
Okay.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. The more you know.
That was a
What a
good.
nice
You know.
surprise.
That was a
I hope
good-
this comes up on
what a
Jeopardy.
nice surprise.
Bring your alibis.
And that-
Very rare do I sing in public.
No, that was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, stop.
You're welcome.
Seriously, stop.
I got you.
So what do you got going on after your half marathon?
So I signed up for 29029. If folks don't know what that is, you climb the, what is it?
Ascent.
Thank you.
Yep.
Vertical
ascent.
ascent of Mount Everest. So I'll be doing that in Stratton, Vermont in October.
Ooh,
So I
okay.
have
It's
like,
just there.
yeah, I have this like lull period in between after March to October that I'll just be doing a lot of step ups.
And
a lot of-
rucking.
Yeah, a lot
Oh,
of rucking.
incline treadmill.
Yeah. Good thing I love a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have lots of wisdom to impart on
Yeah,
the
I
29 to
join
I'm so
29.
you.
excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've got planned.
Okay.
I'm very, very pumped because I don't know if I will finish it.
Yeah, it's kind
Just
of a
to be
scary goal.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
misogi. It's
That's
a
Yeah.
A true
BHAG.
misogi.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Sarah, best of luck. Obviously,
Thank
we're
you.
going to be there a part of the journey as long as you allow us to. And for all the listeners out there, Sarah's story is proof that change doesn't come from extremes. It comes from system, support, and community.
Yep. Whether your goals are weight loss, strength, running, or just feeling better, there's a place for you here.
And you never have to do any of these things alone, and you don't have to wait.
So if you're listening and thinking, that sounds like what I need, it probably is. So head to enduraLAB.com and start your journey. Sarah, thanks again for
Thank
being a
you,
guest. This was
Sarah.
awesome. I hope
you
you had a
guys.
good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got
Thank
to
you.
learn a little more about you.
Yes.
So thanks everyone for tuning in to the enduraLAB podcast. If you're excited about the year ahead, share this episode with a fellow lab member or a potential one, and we'll see you in the gym. Until next time,
Keep moving.
Eat well.
and stay strong.
Bye.
Peace.